wear my hair down to my back, or I cut a bob and do it into single plaits. And if it's the summertime, maybe do a weave. Always change my style depending where my head is at. Sometimes I wear my V-neck real low. If I'm feeling sick.
Hello, welcome to Two Mad Means Podcast. A new week, a new episode. Yo, Kings, what's up?
I'm cool.
10 years.
10 years. I think it's 11. It's 11
years. Yeah.
11 years.
Yeah, I stayed in the same room with this guy and Charlie. One shaggy back in the days. Charlie, you're doing great. So I've been looking at your stuff on social media. You go to the hinterlands, the rural areas to help these young girls, and it's dope. And I have Barbara. Barbara, what's up?
Cool.
You fine?
Yeah, I'm very good.
So Barbara and Chroma Arthur, then Kingsley J. They are the co-founders of She Achieve Africa. So before we start our today's topic, Kingsley, She Achieve Africa. Give us something brief about it.
Well, it was actually something built out of passion. And I think that passion, I have to say, it's Barbara's passion actually. Okay. So I would want Barbara to actually say something.
Okay, Barbara.
How she thought about it and how she actually brought it up.
Yeah, She Achieve Africa.
Oh, okay. Thanks very much. I grew up in Cape Coast, and I don't know if you know Cape Coast. Mm-hmm. Cape Coast is a fishing community where it's one of these communities that also record high teen pregnancy. Mm-hmm. And growing up there, I had friends around me, and I saw people falling to that, being teen pregnant as a result of financial constraints, the fact that they couldn't continue the education. Mm-hmm. So I said to myself, when I went to uni and my best friend couldn't go, so I said to myself, if I have any opportunity, I will probably invest in that or do something around that. So here comes She Achieve Africa. When I had the opportunity, I decided, why not solve this problem that I've been, I think, it's not just in Cape Coast, it's around Ghana.
Yeah, sure. It's a great idea. Because I'm a filmmaker, I travel a lot around Ghana. And sometimes you go outside Accra, you get to experience that there are parts of Ghana you wouldn't even believe they are part of Ghana.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's real. The hustle there is really real. So when I saw Kingsley doing this NGO thing, I was impressed because a lot of people who are supposed to benefit 23rd century Ghana, some common things they don't even get it. It's tough. So today's topic, periods in pandemic. I have a friend. Okay, I have two friends. They have been championing don't touch my pad. Yeah, I think so. Don't touch my pad, because they believe that a lot of ladies in their community can't even afford pad. It's really expensive for them. And I didn't really put my mind to it, but reading their commentary on social media and all that, I got to find out that it's really there. People are going to a lot to even get pad monthly, and you guys go to the areas to share pad and all that. So let's treat this topic, periods in pandemic. So Barbara, the first question: what is period?
Okay. So according to, I don't know if the Cambridge Dictionary, period is a release of tissue or blood from the uterus through the vagina of a female or a girl. It mostly happens once in a month.
In a month, yeah. True.
So basically, that's
period. So, can you want to buttress anything, or you cool?
I'm cool.
Okay. So the next question is for you. Okay. You have been to rural areas.
Yes.
How challenging is it for young girls there to get sanitary pads?
Well, sometimes people actually think like everything is just about Accra. But when you get outside Accra, you'll be shocked that people have not actually even laid eyes on sanitary pads before. They've not seen it before. They've heard of it, but they haven't seen it before. And so even you give it to them, and they don't even know how to even apply it, how to use it.
Wow.
So the accessibility out there is very difficult. There are people who they see the sanitary pads in the store, but they don't even have the 5 cedi or the 6 cedi to go and buy it. Because their daily income, let's say their daily money that they spend on themselves in the whole day will be like 1 cedi or 2 cedi. So imagine like taking 6 cedi to go and buy sanitary pad. It's very difficult, but we try our best.
So, Barbara.
Okay, with the challenges, as Kingsley said, I agree with what Kingsley is saying. I will use some of our programs that we did even in Eastern region. And we realized that when we moved to these schools, they know sanitary pads, Kingsley was saying, but they haven't even laid their eyes on it. For them not even haven't laid their eyes on it, how then can they even get it to even use it when it's that time of the month? So you can see that's quite challenging. The information, accessibility, the cost, and financial constraints in even getting that.
So the next question is, psychologically, what effect does it have on these young girls?
Okay, so I would say it works on their self-esteem. So you realize that even in school, when you're in school and growing up, I'll use myself as an example again. Growing up in school, when it's that time of the month, you can't even mingle with your colleagues.
Yeah, true.
So imagine if you don't have pad in that time of the month, how can you even get out of your timidness to even mingle with your colleagues and even contribute to what's going on in the class? So it works on their self-esteem. Most ladies or most young girls in this stage are affected by anxiety and depression too, because of the fact that they don't have sanitary pads. They even thinking about how they can even just mingle with their friends equally. And again, I also talk about the fact that Kingsley, if you have anything, I have something.
I think it's actually something that it's termed period poverty. If you actually don't have money to get sanitary pad during that time, they have a term called period poverty, and it's actually one of the main reasons why there's anxiety and depression in lots of girls, because during that time they don't have it's something basic and it's not a choice. You actually go through it. So now it's like you have to pay for something that you do not choose for.
Yeah, it's not a choice.
Yeah, it's not your choice. So it gets them really depressed. So,
and at that young age, I'm really worried about their age and being depressed because of...
Yeah, being depressed. And they get to be bullied from their friends and that.
So you go to the rural areas, Kingsley, the parents over there. So the whole dynamism of menstrual hygiene.
Yeah.
How do you see them? How do they relate to stuff like that? Menstrual hygiene, the parents.
Well, I think they all know about it. They all know about this, but it has to do with money, poverty. Because the parents, there's a mother part, being part of the parents. So she has gone through the menses and she also knows how it is like. But because of money, they tend to avoid it. They don't want to talk about it because they feel like if you talk about it, you have to pay for it. So then I think that's the problem. Yeah.
So do male colleagues of these young girls understand that girls go through monthly cycle of menstruation, so they need to be more empathic during this period?
Well, I think as a man, I would say I think that question, it comes with age. Because when I was young, I didn't actually understand it. So when maybe friends were actually ridiculing someone, I actually took part in it. But as I grew older, I got to understand it. So I got to know that it's not anything weird or anything like mystical or whatever it is. But I think it's age.
I think even with women or with girls at that age, you don't even get to understand it yourself. So comparing it to even boys, even girls that we are even going through that, we don't even get to really understand until you grow up. So it comes with age.
So Barbara, when you guys go to the schools and teaching these young guys, they also voice out their opinions on stuff. Like, do they really understand? Like the young people you interact with?
So from our research and from the work that we've done, that's what we're saying. It comes with age. As young as they are, they know. Some know, some have sisters, some have mothers, and they've even come across that. They sit in the class with girls, and they do so themselves daily. So they see it, they know it. But as to how they know what they go through, the hormonal changes, even the pains that sometimes they go through and all that, they don't really get it. And I think it comes with age. And with time, they get to understand it.
Yeah, I get it now. Kingsley, do we still record cases of young girls missing out on school days because of their periods, and some offering sex for sanitary pads?
I was talking about the period poverty.
Yeah.
So that is the perfect example. Because of period poverty, people actually teenage pregnancy and things like that are on the rise because just because the person can get money to buy sanitary towels, the person then has to go and sleep with someone to get that money.
Wow.
And according to UNESCO, actually, 1 out of 10 girls in sub-Saharan Africa actually lose 20% of school of the academic year.
Wow.
But it's 40% in Ghana.
Yeah, serious.
Yeah, because in Ghana there's even places where girls are not even allowed to cross rivers.
Yeah.
Maybe their school is just there, and they can't cross the river. So that is not even because they can't afford it, but just because of some quack, or let's say a kick cultural practice.
Yeah,
and we are still using it.
Barbara, how well has the Ministry of Education addressed this issue of school-going girls and ways to get them free sanitary pads?
Okay, so how well they've solved this issue, I wouldn't say so well. If they've really solved it that well, there wouldn't be issues on the rise. I would say that what they've done that's very encouraging is when they have girls' education units. So there's a girls' education unit under Ministry of Education, and under that unit, they some of their mandates or the things that they do is to educate girls on menstrual hygiene, sex education, and when there's help to give them, they are the people that they're supposed to go to. So let's say for us as an organization, although we move to schools, we work with the girls' education unit. So they tell us or they direct us to the people or the schools that really need these help.
Okay.
So I think from that's what I would say the Ministry of Education or the government has done well. Again, I will also say even the previous administration, Mahama administration,
they tried.
Ministry of Education, they were providing free sanitary pads for schools or for students. Now that we are in pandemic, now that the girls are coming to school to stay in school, and I heard that they'll be staying in boarding houses, I think sanitary pads should be something that should be given to them for free.
True.
In times like this, where they can't have access to them by access.
I remember the previous administration, they tried making it free for students, but somehow people were politics. People said they'll use their blood for blah 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 rituals and all that. And we should stop thinking like this.
That project was a great initiative. A lot of girls benefited from it, and it really solved
a lot of issues.
So I think the government should bring it back.
Yeah, they should bring it back.
We really need it. Like how condoms are free when there's a program.
Yeah, festivals.
Condoms are free. But sex is a choice.
Sex is a choice.
You see,
menstruation is not a choice.
Yeah.
Just like, I can't say that next month I don't want to menstruate because I don't have money. You see that thing. So yes, this is something that the government should look into.
Kingsley,
yes,
we are told the prices of the various sanitary pads are due to the taxes they pay at the port. Yeah. What interventions can the government put in place to help retailers of these sanitary pads reduce their prices?
That's what we've been saying since the beginning of this program. We actually don't even want there to even be a lifting of taxes. We want it to be totally free. Menstrual pads should be free. Because to think about, let's say, what's going on right now in the US, this racial abuse, just because you are black.
Yeah.
So it's the same way but we want it to stop.
Yeah.
It's the same way with women. Just because you're a female, just because you're menstruating, do you have to, let's say, suffer the ridicule of guys and whatever just because you're menstruating? No. You should also be given the same, how should I say, respect or treatment as a woman. You should also be given some things that would make life much more comfortable for you. Because to think about you being like stopping school or having to go through some trauma, all just because of a sanitary pad, which is 5 cedis, 6 cedis. It's very like heartbreaking. Yeah,
true.
It's happening.
Sometime I had a discussion with a friend. I was even telling her that I think she was telling her that at a point we should even introduce some free days for women who go through menstrual pain at work. So some of them, their menstrual pains is in extreme form. So you can give them some days off work.
Those that have extreme cases.
Sure. So now before we go, I want to understand more projects we Africa, your organization are doing. So can you deliberate on some of the things you do to schools and your plans and all that?
Well, so far, She Achieve Africa, we have 4 or 5 programs. So we have She Achieve School Initiative. That's the one that you said you saw on
Facebook.
So with that one, we go to schools. We actually give them the basic things that will let them stay in school and further their education. So that's the basic things being learning materials, like even just exercise books.
Okay.
Because it's just because of some petty things like that some people are not going to school, because if they are to go to the school, they don't have something to write in.
Yeah.
So we give them learning materials, then the sanitary towels, because that's also something that keeps girls out of school a lot. Then we have She Go Back to School.
Okay.
So this is like with teen mothers, people who have actually, because of one thing or the other, some mistakes they did along the way, and they are now pregnant and they are now in their household. We just try and help them get scholarship opportunities, get them back to school. Even find them a trade. To get them back. And we also have
She Research.
So that is
So that one is basically on research, where we try to gather data about challenges affecting girls' education. So there we move to communities, we talk to stakeholders, gathering information on how we can solve issues that hinders girls' education.
So if somebody wants to volunteer in your NGO work, because the person also believes in this agenda, I believe in this agenda, it's a great thing. How does the person get in touch?
So you can follow us on our website. You can go on our social media platforms. You have our contacts. Everything is there. You can visit our website, www.sheachieveafrica.org. You can go there. We have forms there. You can volunteer. You can collaborate. You can do a lot of projects together.
You can donate.
Okay, very important.
Basically, in times like this, we've seen that there's a rise on the things that we are trying to solve. Coronavirus has really magnified the challenges that these girls are facing. Yes.
So with the She scholarship, Go Back to School.
She Go Back to School.
If I know somebody who is from a poor family, and the person is really brilliant and wants to go back to school, I can just hold the person's hands and come to your organization for you guys to help.
Well, we can. It doesn't work that way, but we actually have. Places, some particular regions that we actually go to. So maybe the person that you're talking about might fall under where we are going, then
that's fine.
But aside that,
there's a lot of it's just not that someone can just recommend. But if we do accept recommendations too. But we follow up with a lot of procedures.
That's why we have the She Research, because we actually research them, like check the background, see if everything is as like the should I say the specifications.
Okay. And if any partnership in the near future with other organizations to help your organization,
we always welcome new partnerships, because this is something that we can't do alone. It's very big. The demand for help is very big, that I think everyone can be a part of. We can all be the change. It just takes one person to say no. And that's it.
So also with this podcast, I'll be advertising She Achieve Africa on it every episode. So I'll talk about organization for people who have resources to come on board and help. But people want to also join and also work with you guys to also come on board, and let's champion the cause. So before you go, Barbara, your closing remarks.
Okay. I would say I just want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, our mentors, and our friends, our schools, the schools we work with, the parents and the students, and every person that's connected with She Achieve Africa. We are very grateful for your contributions. We also want to say to the world that we can't do it alone, as Kingsley said. We need your help. We want people to come together. Help us. Let's work together and solve this thing called poverty among women. That's what we want to solve. We want the women in Africa, we want girls to have that belief in them that, yes, we can do it. Yes, we can achieve everything I want to achieve.
Brilliant ideas. Kingsley, closing remarks.
Well, you can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everywhere is She Achieve Africa. The Africa is with a K. And also, I want to say a big thank you to Kingsley over here for hosting us.
Thank you too for coming.
So that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. So today we spoke about periods in pandemic. I had Barbara, I had Kingsley. Same time next week. Bye.
If I'm feeling sexy, then expect some skin will show. Maybe wear a turtleneck if I'm feeling cold. My dressing is expression, so don't judge me by my clothes. Some days I roll up in a hood and a trackie. Turning up your nose, could you think I look tacky? I go to a Michelin meal in my Reebok. Ain't gotta wear my words and be flashy. A short skirt doesn't mean that I want it. My appearance doesn't represent my wallet. This is for the ignorant ones with opinions. Keep your 2 cents inside your pocket. I'm just doing me. I'm just doing me, 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 me. Why don't you do you? That's what you should do, 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 do. I'm gonna show ya, show ya, show ya. I'm gonna show ya, show ya, show ya how you can do you. That's what you should do, 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 do. I see you following submission. I know you're wishing that you could let your head down and mirror my admission. So why you worrying about being the outcast? Don't you know to be yourself and never ask permission? My short shorts sent you